2, 3, 4. Sunlight fall down on the field, sunlight fall down over me. Work all day, be all that I can be. Yeah, yeah. Say I can say words only simple. Say I can say.
That's what I was hoping for.
I believe I did really well.
Went better than I expected. You know, it's a big weight off my shoulders.
It went really well. I talked about what I wanted to do in college, so worked out perfect. She made me feel really comfortable. It was awesome.
Really nice and just made it go really, really smooth.
And love is all that I see. It's serene.
At first, advisory was kind of one of those things that you don't appreciate, you know what I mean? And now, even as a senior, we go to all the classes and daily, and we're just like, oh my gosh, advisory. But honestly, like doing that presentation and now going to my future, it has like taught me a lot in where I'm supposed to be, you know, next year, and has helped me get to that point in my life where I know, okay, I know exactly what to suspect when I get to college. I know what's going to happen, and it helped me through my senior year, you know, filing, you know, college applications. How do I do that? You know, how do I apply for financial aid? So it's been all those things that for your senior year, when it's stressful, it's busy, and you have never been through it before, it honestly did help me like plan for that and make sure that went as smoothly as it possibly could.
Full of color, be I can be, man black or white, only to one.
I thought that this quote was pretty much nailed it. A mind is a fire to be kindled, not a vessel to be filled. I think that it's more important that we learn what we're passionate about and what we think, rather than just filling our heads up with facts and then going by the book.
I love to read, I love to write, I love to listen to music. I'm a big history buff.
I took biology, IPS, chemistry. This year I'm taking organic chemistry and AP anatomy.
Freshman year, I kind of made the decision that I wanted to kind of push myself and challenge myself with the classes that I took.
And then my next passion that I have to talk about is pageants. It's something a lot of people don't know that I do, because it's not something I like to share with people, just because usually they get the wrong impression of you.
Obviously, I've dedicated a large portion of my life to soccer. I usually play about 11 out of 12 months each year. 3 of those months are 5-day weeks with practices of 2 hours a day.
Anyways, I was also in the concert choir, and second semester I was moved up to women's select choir, and at the end of the year I got my first letter for music.
No, don't pass me by. See, I can see good things for you and I.
They would get out of finding who they really are. Like, when my freshman and sophomore year, I was pretty set on being a policeman, and then I started tinkering around the kitchen, and I ended up starting doing all this.
Under self-knowledge, my career goal is to be a nurse, and I didn't figure that out until this year. I had been struggling with what I wanted to do with my life, and this past winter I did a job shadow at Holy Family Hospital.
It honestly helped me to have them ask me questions, because it kind of made me think about what do I want to do. And you know, I work at Washington Mutual, and when she asked me more about the accounting side of business, it made me think maybe I should look into that, and so that's what I enjoyed about it.
Pre-dental. I'm going to do Eastern and then hopefully go to UW after that, so I'm excited.
I do feel like that I was asked to ask questions of myself that I probably otherwise wouldn't have asked. And therefore learned more about what I'm really doing and about what I'm here for.
It's definitely influenced my critical thinking skills and my ability to analyze situations.
You know, I'm really independent. I've come to realize that, like, at home, you know, I'm not asking for my parents really, you know, for that much. I've sort of gotten into the swing of things. I know I'm going to be leaving home.
I can get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving in too deep.
Analyze situations.
possibly the complication.
Math, math has really been a problem for me. I'm not very good at math, but this set on the right, or your left, sorry, it's actually not a problem, it's just properties of exponents. And when I first saw that, I freaked out. I didn't know what it meant. I was terrified of it. It scared me. And then when I learned it, I've got those all memorized now. So I've gotten over my problem, I guess, fear. This one on the right, I have no idea what it means, but I know that eventually I'll be able to figure it out and I'll be able to learn. So it's not so intimidating when I see something that I don't know anymore. I know that eventually I'll be able to reason out what it is and what it means, and then it'll be easier for me to get through things in the future that I don't understand.
No, you don't want to leave your future to chance. You don't want to leave, did I fill my application out right or wrong, to chance? Am I going to get into this college because I didn't know what I was doing? You definitely need this to make sure that there is no what if, or there's that chance of screwing up. You need this to guide you along, to show you what you've done and like how to do it.
It says Miss S. I went and volunteered at Farwell Elementary first semester, and I was sort of like a teacher's aide type thing. They call me Miss S. I was sort of like a teacher. And this is a note from one of the kids. I said they like me, Miss S. But that was really good experience. I know I have younger sisters, and I know how the younger crowd is. I volunteered for a first grade class, and knowing like that you can go into the classroom every day and help these kids, and once they get something, like a light turns on, that was just seeing that I'm helping these kids learn, and that just kind of triggered. I kind of figured out that's maybe what I want to do outside of high school, is teach like kindergarten. Plus the kids are shorter than I am. That's another reason why.
A questionnaire we took characterized what is most important to us. There are 3 major ideals that I like to live my life by. The first is altruism. I love people. My regard for and devotion to the interests of others comes before all else. People make life what it is, and it would be a shame to never find meaningful relationships with such valuable beings. They're everywhere. Then there is knowledge. Knowledge is power, as they say. Seeking information, truth, and principles, I sincerely believe can get one far and makes things so much more worthwhile. Finally, there is emotional well-being. Peace of mind, being free of anxiety, and inner security are all essential to both mental and physical health. If there was some way I could find an occupation that would have all 3 of these things, I think it would lead to a very fulfilling and happy life.
Night after night, my heart beat and shows the fear.
Last summer, I went on a mission trip to Slidell, Louisiana, and I helped rebuild homes. Before I went, I was really scared and I was apprehensive. I wasn't sure if that was a good idea, but I'm really glad I went. I didn't just learn about like rebuilding a house, which was really cool, but it just changed my thinking a little bit more, and to be more understanding with people's situations. And it just helped me to think that I have a responsibility to help people, so I will always do that, and I will always remember that trip.
I went to Europe last year with my French class, and that was amazing. That was just, I learned so much about myself during that trip that it was almost scary. This is a picture of Mont Saint-Michel, and we drove up to it on a bus, and it's this huge imposing structure that's been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and you feel so small when you see a building like that, and kind of impermanent, and so it was kind of a shock to me that this has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it'll be there for hundreds of years. And it's an amazing building, and just walking through it, you feel a sense of age, and you understand that it's not all about you, it's about everything. There's not, you can't walk through someplace like this and still think that you are the most important thing in the world, which for a teenager is pretty common.
Again, going along with camp, this is called a warm fuzzy. And what you do at camp is You go around, basically it's the first day that everyone kind of goes to camp. You know some people, but a majority of people you don't know. So you go around, you kind of mingle together, and you wear this around, you know, your neck, and you go and pull a string, your string from your own ball, and you tie it around somebody else's neck, and you compliment them, even if you don't know them. And so that's all what camp is about. It's sort of opening up and getting to know others that you may not, you know, think about getting to know at school, just because this whole scene of, I don't know, cliques and whatnot. But I just wanted to show that, because for me during high school, camp has been sort of that turning point, that experience that has sort of, I was always reserved my freshman and sophomore year, not really wanted to show emotion. But once I went to camp, that really opened a lot of doors for me. And now I'm willing to show sort of how much people mean to me, especially my friends mean a lot to me. And I'm now able to sort of let them know how, you know, much of a difference they've made in my life.
My slides about being a productive and responsible citizen mostly deal with what I want to do with my future. I want to be a vet, maybe you could tell. I think that being a vet would help me to do something every day that I really liked and would be a little bit different every day, but still give back to the community so that I'm not just filling space in an office somewhere.
I love to hear their stories and how everybody has a place, everybody has a strength, and everybody has tools to help them with their things that they struggle with. And that's what I'm hearing from these kids as they present their stories. Their story isn't the same as the kids maybe that I know the best, because we're in a limited circle, and it's just been fascinating to me and to see how they grow and how they are going to reach their goals in a whole different path, you know, than maybe I'm aware of.
But the most important piece that I've learned in talking with these kids is, what are you doing next year? What are you going to do now that you're finished with high school? I learned a lot about these kids. I met kids I've never met before and heard about their stories and their struggles. That really surprised me. There's a number of kids who I thought were terrific students. Well, they're terrific students today, but you hear their stories in 9th and 10th grade, how they almost quit school, how it just wasn't important to them, and they themselves somehow received that message that we've been trying to sell for years. You know, school's important, school's important. And now, all of a sudden, they made that transition on their own, and that's pretty exciting.
For me, the most fun was listening to students have plans for the future, because I work in the schools too. I'm out in East Valley and WSU, and too often they don't know what they want to do, you know, and this is encouraging them to think about the future. And I really like that.
And what an opportunity for them to have an audience too, and to have people who are interested in hearing about who they are. And I was struck by the uniqueness and the diversity of different folks, and yet each with their strengths, and proud of what they had to say about who they were, and comfortable with who they were. So it was very enlightening.
It was good. I thought it was good to see them reflecting on their last 4 years, what they had learned. They all had a real passion for a lot of the social activity. Like a lot of them like to talk about their socially, you know, I did this and I was involved in this, and some of that was great. You can see how that was led to development in their life, which was good.
One thing that struck me was the organization, how they attempted to organize their lives and over the past 4 years, and present that. It's evident they worked hard to get another culminating project together.
I see some young people that are really excited about their future, actually, and most of them have all of them that I've listened to have a real good plan of action. They know where they're going. They have taken steps to move toward what they want to do after school, and most of them seem pretty confident. They've learned a lot in school, and you know, they seem to know who they are, and are working toward a a means of a career that complements who they are, and that's exciting for me because I wasn't there when I was in school, and I think this project probably helps them out quite a bit, introducing this to them as a freshman, and working through this process really helps them to define and redefine who they are through the years as they grow older and have experience with their peers here in school, and have an opportunity to take classes and do some community projects and really find their strengths and weaknesses. I just think I see lots of value to it.
We had one young man who clearly was not as comfortable. But the first thing the advisor said when he's done is, you should have seen him 3 years ago as a freshman.
Yeah, that was
he couldn't
helpful.
even make eye contact. And even though he clearly wasn't as strong maybe at presenting as some of the others, the progress, it was obvious, the progress. And he knew himself. We know that success in the 13th year depends on them knowing what they want to do. If they leave high school and they have no idea what they want to do, the likelihood of success is so much lower. So now Meade is graduating students who will at least have a plan. They'll probably change it, of course, but they have an idea of what next year is going to hold. They're not graduating and saying, well, I don't know, I'll just bum around for the summer and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get a job, maybe I'll go to school, maybe I don't know. Because they won't be as successful. They'll be ready.
There's some amazing kids out there. I mean, it's pretty awesome to see what's coming down the road.
The presentation, I think, is a good way to show to people in the school, like Miss Keller, like our lives, to say, like, here's what we are outside of school, because everyone knows, like, what we are in school. They see us day to day in class, but they don't know, what we do outside of school. And so I think the presentation is a good way for kids to get across their other life, you know what I mean, what people don't know. And it's a good way for also for their parents to come in and see their schoolwork, see what they've been doing throughout high school, because I know a lot of, students don't talk to their parents about school. So I think the presentation shows teachers their outside life, and then their parents their school life. And so I think it's a great way for everyone to learn about that student.
I ended up starting doing all this. This actually did spell out Meade at one point. It was just a real nice experience.
I think that this last senior presentation, even though it was my last memory, has been the most helpful, just because that specifically called me to ask these questions of myself, and really it asked me to sum up my entire